Prophet Musa alayhi salam grew up in the palace of Pharaoh in Egypt. However, due to an unexpected event, he was forced to leave Egypt to ensure his safety. Relying solely on Allah, he set out on a journey into the unknown. The journey to Madian and the heartfelt prayer, without a specific destination. Prophet Musa alayhi salam arrived in the land of Madian. Exhausted from his long journey and suffering from hunger, he rested near a well. There, he saw two women struggling to water their flocks and stepped forward to help them. Afterwards, seeking rest and respite, he sat under the shade of a tree. In that moment of complete helplessness, he turned to Allah with a sincere prayer, which is recorded in the Holy Quran. My Lord, indeed I am, for whatever good you would send down to me, in need. Immediately after this prayer, Allah's help reached him. The father of the women, whom many historians identify as Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam, invited him to his home. Musa alayhi salam proved his honesty and integrity through his actions. Accepting the invitation, he stayed there. Impressed by his trustworthiness, the father gave one of his daughters in marriage to Musa alayhi salam. He lived and worked with Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam for 10 years. During this period, livelihood he worked as a shepherd, which provided him with a steady income and a humble life. Family life through his marriage, he was blessed with a family and a settled home. Preparation this life in the desert taught him patience and humility, mentally preparing him for the monumental task of eventually standing up against Pharaoh. The time spent in Madian was a major turning point in Musa's alayhi salam life. He transitioned from being a prince in a palace to a man of the people after these learning 10 the value years of exile. While returning to Egypt with his family, he reached Mount Tur, where he received the revelation from Allah and was commissioned as a prophet. That small, sincere prayer he made to Allah opened the doors to immense blessings in his life. After receiving his prophethood at Mount Tur, Allah commanded Prophet Musa alayhi salam to go to Pharaoh Fir'aun and invite him to the worship of the one true God. Prophet Musa alayhi salam requested that his brother, Harun alayhi salam, be appointed to assist him, and Allah granted his request. When Prophet Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam arrived at the palace, they stood before Pharaoh, who had been an oppressive tyrant for decades. Prophet Musa alayhi salam spoke with courage and clarity, calling Pharaoh to justice, kindness toward the children of Israel, and submission to Allah. Pharaoh, blinded by his arrogance and declaring himself a god, mocked them. He brought up Prophet Musa's alayhi salam past, referring to the accidental killing of the Egyptian to discredit him, and refused to acknowledge the message. Pharaoh dismissed the message as magic and challenged Prophet Musa alayhi salam to a contest against the greatest magicians in his kingdom. A grand gathering was organized on a festival day, the Magicians' Act. The magicians cast their ropes and staffs, which appeared to transform into serpents through their mastery of illusion. The people were awestruck. The divine miracle Prophet Musa alayhi salam then cast his staff by the command of Allah. It transformed into a real, living serpent that devoured the magicians' illusions. The turning point. Witnessing this, the magicians realized that what they had seen was not magic, but a divine sign beyond human ability. They immediately prostrated themselves and declared their belief in the Lord of Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam. Pharaoh, enraged by their defiance, threatened them with brutal torture and execution. However, the magicians, having tasted the sweetness of faith, remained steadfast even in the face of death. Following this, Pharaoh's tyranny intensified. Allah sent various trials and signs upon Egypt to warn Pharaoh. After Pharaoh repeatedly ignored the signs and warnings brought by Prophet Musa alayhi salam, Allah commanded the Prophet to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt under the cover of night. When Pharaoh discovered that they had fled, he was filled with rage. He immediately gathered his massive, elite army consisting of chariots, horsemen, and infantry and set out to pursue them, intending to destroy them entirely. The dead end at the Red Sea. The children of Israel reached the banks of the Red Sea just as Pharaoh's army appeared on the horizon. Panic spread among the people because they were trapped. The sea was in front of them, and Pharaoh's formidable army was closing in from behind. The people cried out in fear, "We are surely being overtaken." However, Prophet Musa alayhi salam, remaining calm and trusting completely in Allah, replied with unshakable faith, "No, indeed, with me is my Lord, he will guide me." Quran verses 26-62. At that moment of extreme desperation,
Allah commanded Prophet Musa alayhi salam to strike the sea with his staff. As he did so, the waters parted miraculously. The sea split into two towering walls, creating a dry path through the seabed. Prophet Musa alayhi salam and his people marched through the dry channel. They crossed the sea safely, reaching the other side, while the waves stood like mountains on either side of the path. When Pharaoh and his army reached the sea, they saw the dry path and arrogantly followed. Believing they could catch the people easily, they marched into the middle of the sea, confident in their power. Once the last of the children of Israel had reached the shore and the last of Pharaoh's army had entered the seabed, Allah commanded the sea to return to its natural state. The massive walls of water collapsed, swallowing Pharaoh and his entire army. In his final moments, as the water engulfed him, Pharaoh realized the truth of the message he had spent his life denying. He cried out, "I believe that there is no God but He in whom the children of Israel believe, and I am of the Muslims." However, his repentance came too late. Allah declared that because he had lived in rebellion and caused corruption on the earth, his belief at the time of destruction was not accepted. His body was preserved by Allah as a sign for future generations, a reminder of the fate of those who challenge the truth. This event serves as a timeless lesson in Islamic history that while the forces of oppression may appear invincible, they are powerless against the will of the Creator, and those who remain steadfast in faith are ultimately granted victory.
The Parting of the Sea, Surah Ash-Shu'ara 63. فأوحينا إلى موسى أن اضرب بعصاك البحر فانفلق فكان كل فرق كالطود العظيم. Translation: Then we inspired to Musa, strike with your staff the sea, and it parted, and each portion was like a great towering mountain. 2. The destruction of Pharaoh and his army, Surah Ash-Shu'ara 64-66. وأزلفنا ثم الآخرين وأنجينا موسى ومن معه أجمعين ثم أغرقنا الآخرين. Translation: And we advanced thereto the pursuers. And we saved Musa and those with him, all together. Then we drowned the others. 3. The miraculous path, Surah Taha 77. فضرب لهم طريقا في البحر يبسا لا تخاف دركا ولا تخشى. Translation: And strike for them a dry path through the sea. You will not fear being overtaken by Pharaoh, nor will you be afraid of drowning.
Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, are signs for those of understanding. For a believer, the combination of logical coherence, the precision of the natural world, and the resonance of the Quranic message with the human soul constitutes the proof that there is no God but Allah.